Welcome, King David, and thank you for being with us. I'm wondering if you can start by just telling us a little bit about yourself.
I was king in Israel for many years. I was chosen to be king while still a boy, but it was a struggle to achieve the throne. I had to escape the murderous plans of King Saul, escape from the camp of my enemies, fight bloody battles, outwit my opponents, stand against the plots of evil men, and more. Well, I was king, but the task was never easy. I could not have done it alone.
Alone? Who did you have with you?
I had God with me. I cherished God's love for me, God's protection and guidance. Many times I stood at the point of despair over the evil around me, over the threats on my life, even the rebellion from my own son Absalom. But God stood with me almost all the time.
Almost? You mean there were times when God left you?
No, God never left me. Like a faithful shepherd, God was always there, always waiting, always seeking me out, calling me back, keeping me safe, except when I chose to follow my own selfish ways.
You, with all your advantages, your wealth, your power, your constant victories over your enemies, you strayed? That hardly seems possible.
Possible? Too possible. I serve a good God, but I am not always a good man. I tend to be full of myself. I tend to think I can take care of things, do it myself. I tend to believe the praises that my people cry out after me. I tend to turn my way.
Turn? What do you mean, turn?
Those crossroads, you know what I mean, those choice points. Sometimes it is far too easy to choose the path that seems to be calling, that seems convenient, seems satisfying.
Can you give us an example?
To my shame, I once had a man murdered so I could take his wife. I know that sounds terrible, and it was. But at that moment, I thought I saw something that would bring me happiness and contentment. And at that crossroad, I chose to get what my eyes had seen, what my heart desired, and what my power allowed me to take.
But it didn't make you happy.
The choice I made at that crossroad made me miserable. When the prophet Nathan accused me, I was crushed. I could have run away. I could have escaped into the result of my own choice. But God would not let me.
Let you?
When I realized what I had done, how I had sinned, how I had chosen my selfish way, God put another crossroad in my way. Which way now, David? God seemed to say. Which path will you choose? And in that moment, there, on my knees, I knew there was only one way for me. From my heart, with confidence in God's forgiving love, I chose repentance. Well, there was nothing else to do. When I kept my sin inside me, when I refused to seek the crossroads that God had put in front of me, when I refused to get down on my knees, I suffered real pain. My bones wasted away through my groaning all day long.
And you felt God calling you back.
God's hand was heavy upon me. My strength was dried up as by the heat of summer. But here is the miracle. I was not left on my knees in pain to suffer the result of my choice, of my sin, of my choice. I said, I will confess my transgressions unto the Lord, and God forgave me the iniquity of my sin. And it did not happen just once. Every time I got to the crossroad of my own foolishness, my own weakness, my own sinfulness, God was there to forgive, to stand me up, and give me the strength to choose His way.
Thank you, David, for your help, your insight, and your honesty.